Hello friends, welcome to this YouTube video program. Friends, today we will discuss about the concept of data, information and knowledge. You see, these three terms, data, information and knowledge, many a time as a researcher, as a student, as a teacher, we get confused to understand that what is the real meaning of data, what is the real meaning of information, and what is the real meaning of knowledge, and whether there is any relation that exists between these three terms, data, information and knowledge. What is the connection between information and knowledge? Many a time as a researcher or as a student you must have observed, you must have experienced that many a time we use these concepts synonymously. Means many a time for using the very word knowledge we use information, and many a time in a place of information that is not really a knowledge, but we are using the term knowledge. So friends, these terms are this is initially when we conduct a research, when we deal certain concepts, certain knowledge, certain theories, certain principles, we should understand, we should have better understanding that what is the real concept of a data and real concept of information and real concept of knowledge. So friends, today we will try to discuss these three terms by putting suitable examples. So you see, first we will discuss the data. When we talk about data, you see, data we can say you cannot give more meaning to a data. Data means you can say it is in a very raw form, or we can say that it is raw data. Okay, raw data. In education context, the data that we use for our research and for our other interpretation work in our school practices and in our measurement and evaluation, the term data we use that is for the raw data. So let me to give one example. If you are a teacher, then you might have observed, and you must have involved in the system of assessment. Okay, you must have prepared certain test, and you must have administered that test upon the students to whom you are teaching. You see, after administering the test, the score that you are getting, let you have prepared an achievement test. Okay, and you administered that achievement test upon the group of students to whom you are teaching. Okay, then after checking their copy, you are giving one score to them. Let a student is getting 60, another student is getting 72, another student is getting 45. So what does it mean, this score 45, this score 60, this score 72? So you can say these are the individual score, or these are the raw data. So you cannot give much meaning to this raw data, to this individual score. So simply, if I will say that to interpret this data, taking the raw data, means you see, I do not know the score of the groups, I do not know the score of the other students, only I know the score of an individual student, let 70. So what meaning, what meaning I can give to the 70? I can say simply, I can say 70 is a score, 70 is a number which is, if I will start from 0, then it is 0 plus 70. Okay, and you can say if I will start from 100, so this is 100 minus 30 is 70. So you are able to put certain you can say very limited meaning to an individual score. Okay, but all here I am giving example of the score or the data, the individual score or the individual data that we use that we use, you can say, in education. But this example can also be given from other disciplines, from other subjects. Okay, we can give example in physics, we can give example in different other branches of sciences. Okay, we can also give example of crop production. Okay, crop production. Crop production means we can say that how many tons of crop production has been has been happened in a state. Okay, maybe wheat, maybe rice, maybe paddy. Okay, so here also you are expressing, means giving a very simple meaning, very limited meaning to the data. Only you are quantifying the things. Okay, so data, when we talk about the data, means data is having very limited meaning, and we cannot, unless we interpret the data, we cannot give more meaning to the data. Okay, and data is very this is called as the raw data or the individual data. And you see, from the data, means data helps you to emerge certain meaning from the data, or to reach at the information. Okay, the data help you to reach at the information. You see, now try to link data and information. You see the information is the second stage of the data. Let us take the same example in the school context, that you have administered a test of achievement upon a group of students. You got certain individual score. You see, all the individual score are having very limited meaning, just like I explained earlier, that let one have secured 70, 60 or 45. So you cannot compare that score with the other score, with the group score, if you do not know the other score. So that's why, so data means here an individual score or a raw score. But you see, let you know the individual score. Let you have the score of each and every students of your class. Okay, to whom you are teaching. Let a student has secured 70, other 55, third student 50, then next student is let 82. So let 40 students are there in your class. So what you can do, taking the 40 individual score, you can calculate a mean score. You can calculate a mean score from those individual score. That's called as the group score. Okay, so here you see, when I talk about the mean score of the distribution, the standard deviation of the distribution, or when I am using the other statistics to analyze the data, to interpret the data, then I can say, means we are reaching at the information. We are giving certain information. Means we are not talking only about the raw score or the raw data or the individual score. Okay, so let earlier what we are doing, let a student has secured 70, a score 70 in mathematics. So what you are saying, 70 is 0 plus 70, means if I will start the score from 0, so 0 plus 70 is 70. Okay, and if I will start scoring, you can say in descending order, that is from 70. So simply I can say 70 is 30 minus or 30 less than 100. Okay, so that's why that was the very simple meaning we are giving to the data. But when we are talking about the information, so what here I can do, let by adding all the individual score of the class and by dividing with their total numbers here, let 40, let the mean score is 55. Okay, so what can I say, let one individual student has secured 70, I can say 70 is more than, the score 70 is above the mean score of 55. Means the student or who has secured 70 is you can say an average student, an above average student. Let a student has secured 40, then you can say the student who has secured 40 is a below average student. Okay, and after knowing the group score, you can also calculate the range of the distribution. Let the highest score is 10 in the group and the lowest score is 90. So what you can say, what is the range of the distribution? So the highest score minus lowest score, 90 minus 10 is equal to 80. So here you can say the distribution of the score in the group is 80. But only taking the individual score, you cannot give such information. Okay. So friends, when we interpret the data, we can give certain new meaning, we can give certain more meaning to the data, and that can be the information. So you see, after interpreting the data, after using the statistics, maybe maybe average statistics, maybe standard deviation or other, or range or quartile deviation, okay, or you can say average deviation, then you can give more meaning to the data, because you are interpreting the data, you are analyzing the data. So by analyzing and interpreting, you can give more meaning to the data, and that will be the information. So here, let you are a teacher in a school, so what you can do, let 5 sections are there in your school. So you are preparing a table about the achievement of the students. Okay, so in a chart, in a table, you can mention that the average score, the average subject wise average score, in average score of mathematics in class 9 section A is 55, section B is 62, section 3 is 75, section D is let 50, okay, section E is let 52. So here what you are saying, you can compare, the average score of different sections. But earlier what you are doing, you are only able to analyze just simply an individual score. Okay, so here you can say, you can compare the result in information, you can compare the result of different groups, the result of different sections, different classes, different schools. Okay, and after calculating the average score, you can also say that what percentage of students are falling below average, below average of the score in the group, and above average of the school group, and how many students are in the top 10%, how many students scored above 80, above 90. Okay, so you can give many meaning, to the information. So when we interpret the data, it become information, and that information keeps certain meaning. But the raw data, that doesn't keep certain meaning, only one or two meaning it keeps, but you cannot give more meaning to the data. But when you interpret and analyze the data, then definitely many meanings will emerge from the data, and that will be the information. So friends, now let us try to discuss that. Already we have discussed the concept of a data and an information, but we have not discussed about the knowledge. You see, there is a link between information and knowledge. So when we talk about the term knowledge, so here not only interpretation, not only analysis comes, rather this is you can say this is a type of we are doing a type of research, we are doing a type of deep involvement about interpreting, about verifying the information. Okay, the information that you are getting. So many a time you see, we use certain, we develop certain theories, we develop certain principles. Okay, we develop certain laws. You see, there are many laws that we practice, and we study in physics. We study or we practice many law in chemistry, in biology, also in other branches of science. Even if there are many laws, many principles that we use, even if in the social sciences also. So when we talk about even if in the education, when we talk about the educational psychology. Okay, so here also in educational psychology, even if in the teaching pedagogy, in the teaching learning process, we also discuss about many principles and many theories, may be related to personality, may be related to intelligence, may be related to self concept, may be related to aptitude, creativity. So friends, when we talk about the theories of creativity, the theories of intelligence, the principles of intelligence, then we can say this is a type of knowledge. Okay, and when we talk about physics, you see many rules, many principles, and many theories that has been developed in physics. and we are using that principles for solving different physical problems for solving different problems in physics discipline. Okay, so in mathematics also we have many formulas, we have many rules. So when we solve mathematical problems, so what we are doing, we use that formulas and that rules. So the formulas that we are developing, the rules that we are developing, definitely that is the knowledge. So here you see, first of all, we have the concept of a data, that is a raw score having very limited meaning or no meaning at all. Then when we are interpreting, when you are analyzing the raw score, so what you are getting, we are getting certain more meaning. We are putting certain more meaning to the raw data. Okay, so when we are putting certain raw data or converting a raw data into a meaningful data, raw data into a group data, then definitely we can say that that is an information. And from the information, when we conduct research, maybe in different branches, maybe in different areas, in different fields, in different subjects, maybe research in education, maybe research in psychology, maybe research in physics, chemistry, mathematics, and other branches, sociology. So what we are doing, we are using the data, we are interpreting the data, we are putting certain meaning to the data. So then after, by using certain higher order statistics, okay, by experimenting the things, by observing the things, we are developing certain principles, we are developing certain theories, we are developing certain rules. And that rules, principles, and theories are predictive in nature. Predictive in nature means that principles will be used further by the researcher, by other students, for solving different problem and for using it in their study, for using it in their experiment. Okay, so what experiment you are doing, the results that you are getting, you will find that the result and the findings of your research is getting used by other people, other researchers. Okay, earlier we have discussed about a norm and a standardized test. So means you can use a standardized test in other situations also. So for standardizing something, for developing a norm, so definitely you adopt a scientific and systematic procedure. So friends, these three concepts, the three terms, data, information, and knowledge, is linked with each other. Okay, so directly you cannot reach at the information, rather data helps you to reach at the information. Okay, so first of all, when we talk about the data, it had no meaning, or it had very limited meaning, it had very raw meaning. Then when we analyze the data, it become meaningful, and you are saying that that is the information. And when you are at this stage of information, so what you can do, you can compare the individual scores, you can find out the differences, and you can make certain groups also. Okay, just like let you have calculated the average scores, then we can say that what percentage of the subjects are above average, what percentage of the subject are below average. But here the things are not stopped. Okay, so rather further we can proceed to establish, to reach at certain knowledge from the information. Okay, so information helps to get the knowledge. So knowledge is always predictive in nature, universal in nature. Then after verifying the information, after doing the experimentation of the information that you have received, then you can reach at the knowledge. So friends, these three concepts, data, information, and knowledge, usually you see in education, in pedagogy, in the teaching learning process, for conducting research in education, we use these three concepts: data, information, and knowledge. And in a very common person's language, what we do, we synonymously use the concept. Many a time, instead of information, we use data. Instead of data, we use information. Instead of putting the term knowledge, we are using the information. or instead of putting the term knowledge, information, we are putting the term knowledge. So interchangeably we are using, synonymously we are using these terms, but these terms are having definite meaning and having certain differences. So friends, this is the simple difference between a data, information and knowledge. So as a researcher, as a student of education, you should understand it. This will help you for for developing a proper knowledge base and for conducting your research in a proper way. So thank you. Next, in our next video program, we will discuss about different sources of knowledge, means how we acquire knowledge, what are the different sources we use for acquiring knowledge. Thank you.